A hush has settled over Kansas City, not the silence of defeat, but the quiet of anticipation and uncertainty. At the heart of it stands one of the NFL's most transformative figures, Patrick Mahomes, the three-time Super Bowl champion and perennial MVP contender. Today we break down the latest, confirmed developments in his recovery from a major knee injury, what we know, what the Chiefs have officially said, and what his 2026 season might look like. In mid-December 2025, during a game against the Los Angeles Chargers, Mahomes suffered a serious injury to his left knee that would ultimately end his season. An MRI confirmed a torn ACL, and reports indicated additional ligament involvement requiring surgical repair. The injury came late in the game and effectively dashed Kansas City's playoff hopes for the 2025 season. The timing was significant. Not only was it the first major injury of Mahomes' NFL career, but it also coincided with the Chiefs concluding a season outside of the postseason, a rare outcome for a franchise that has dominated the AFC for much of the last decade. That knee surgery followed swiftly the next day in Dallas, where team medical staff and specialists repaired the torn ACL and associated ligaments, launching what has become an intense rehabilitation process. Mahomes has since begun structured rehab, with the team and coaching staff offering regular updates. According to head coach Andy Reid, Mahomes is putting in the work, spending long days at the facility working through strength and conditioning drills, mobility exercises, and recovery protocols with Chiefs trainers. Reid described Mahomes' approach as disciplined, a player obsessed with getting every possible rep, every possible improvement. The coach refused to set any definitive return date, but he made it clear the focus remains on proper recovery rather than rushing back. Mahomes himself has spoken publicly about his recovery goals. In statements carried by multiple outlets in January, he acknowledged both the challenge and the possibility of being ready for Week 1 of the 2026 NFL season. "That's the goal," Mahomes said when asked whether early season action was realistic, noting that doctors told him it was within the realm of possibility, but emphasizing that he cannot predict the entire process. His comments reflected a mix of optimism and realism. A quarterback known for confidence, but also one keenly aware of the demands of rehabilitating a knee after major ligament surgery. Medical analysts and team sources have noted that the typical recovery timeline for an ACL tear, especially one involving multiple ligaments, ranges roughly around 9 months, though there is variability depending on factors like individual healing response, physical therapy progress, and strength outcomes. Working back from the mid-December injury date places the earliest potential readiness around late summer or early fall 2026, right at the start of the NFL season. It's important to note that ready, in medical terms, does not necessarily mean game shape or fully comfortable in all movements. That distinction will be evaluated as training camp approaches. The Chiefs are balancing optimism with caution. As part of their offseason plan, the team has restructured Mahomes' contract to provide salary cap flexibility, signaling their commitment to building a competitive roster around his eventual return. They've also stayed engaged with his rehab progress and have publicly supported his work ethic and mindset. At the NFL Scouting Combine, Coach Reid reiterated that the organization's priority is the health of their franchise quarterback, even as they prepare for roster improvements and scheme adjustments in his absence. Across fan communities and analyst circles, Mahomes' injury and recovery timeline have sparked conversation and debate. Some point to the remarkable medical advancements and the Chiefs' resources as factors that could expedite his return. Others emphasize the need to ensure strength and stability before competitive play resumes. There's also broader offseason context affecting Kansas City, including speculation around other former Chiefs like wide receiver Tyreek Hill and how player movement could shape the team's 2026 outlook. So what does all of this mean for Mahomes and the Chiefs? At this point, the official narrative from both Mahomes and the Chiefs organization is clear. Mahomes is actively rehabbing, with a focus on strength, mobility, and game readiness. The team is optimistic but realistic about his return, viewing Week 1 as a goal, not a guarantee. The Chiefs are ensuring that when he does return, he does so in a way that maximizes long-term performance rather than rushing a comeback. That cautious approach mirrors how elite NFL franchises manage their cornerstone quarterbacks, especially when a season's fortunes hang in the balance. For decades, Kansas City's identity has centered on explosive offense, late-game heroics, and the calm confidence of a quarterback capable of altering the course of a season with one throw. Today, Mahomes' journey back from injury isn't just about tape and playbooks. It's about timing, patience, healing, and the expectation of excellence that has defined his career. Will Mahomes be ready for Week 1? That question will continue to shape headlines in the months ahead. But one thing is certain. The Chiefs, and the NFL, are watching every milestone in his recovery with the same intensity that defined his 9 seasons of dominance.